Hi guys, it's Hella from Dawn Emporium again, and this time we've got Ireland's Halloween, and it does a lot. So, Ireland's Halloween is Samhain. It's the time to honour your family's ancestors and those that have passed away. Makes sense. Explains all the skeletons running around. The spirits are invited into your homes whilst the living dress in the costumes and masks of harmful spirits to keep the actual bad spirits away. The bones of your family's dead livestock are cast into communal fires and bonfires. Food was prepared for the living and the dead, and the dead's portion was shared amongst the less fortunate, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. Now, I have to say, there are always less fortunate people, and every harvest festival should be about sharing. And I don't care what your religion is, and it happens in lots of religions. There's a Muslim festival, the Muslim calendars, because there's at least two that I know of. They float. They're floating calendars. Actually, technically to them they don't float, but to us on our calendar they do float. They change. But their harvest festivals also do this. You make a feast. Well, actually, you slaughter certain livestock, and you keep a certain amount for yourself, and then a certain amount goes to the mosque, and the mosque then gives the rest to the poorer people. So if you are lucky and you're a farmer and you've got like 10 cattle and you know that 2 of them aren't going to make it through winter, then you kill those 2. You're not going to eat all of the meat of those 2 cattle, maybe 1.5. So the other half then goes to the mosque, and that half then goes with the 25 chickens, the 7 goats, and the other 3 cows that they've got, and that then goes between the poor of the area. Awesome idea. Same thing happens in Samhain. Awesome. Churches used to do it, but they will hand it to charities. Now, when I was younger, we never saw where this food was going to charities. These days you do, because these days so many people, usually people with jobs, which really irks me, are surviving thanks to food banks. So if you have any spare money, I suggest just picking up some extra beans, some extra cereal. There's usually a list of what is wanted. At this time of year, I suggest getting things for Christmas, which may sound strange, but they're going to need to bulk up their supplies for Christmas, because people would still like a nice meal on Christmas Day. So this time of year, ring your local food bank and ask what they actually want, what they need, and what they're going to need for December, because everybody celebrates Christmas. They don't. You could have Jewish people going there, but Hanukkah's coming up. You could have people like me, and on the 21st of December, it's my version of Christmas coming up. We all want big meals. So, no, I'm lucky I don't need a food bank, but I'm just saying that there are other people out there, all different religions, all needing help from food banks. So you ask them. But there's always a list on a trolley in the supermarket saying we need baked beans, we need apple juice and orange juice. we need cordial, we need breakfast cereals, we need this, that and the other. But if you ring up your local food bank, if you actually have time to do that, or they might have a website, check what they have and what they need, and then pick up a few pieces and drop it off next time you're passing. You know, keep one of them shoppers in your car specifically, and every time you go shopping, just pick up an extra tin or an extra 4-pack or something like that, something that's on offer, and then when the bag's full, just drop it off. It's not that hard. It doesn't cost the earth, and you could be saving someone from so much heartbreak. Right, enough of the preaching. But yes, so extra food given to the poor of the community. Where are we? There. The celebrations went long into the night, and offerings of food and gift were left for the fairies and wee folk. Everyone then lit huge bonfires to light the way into the season of the dark. In fact, there's a hill in the Boyne Valley called the Mound of the Hostages on the Hill of Tara. It also tends to be known as either the Hill of Tara or the Mound of Hostages. I'm guessing something quite tragic happened there, going by the name. That shows 4,500 to 5,000 years worth of bonfires, suggesting Samhain or similar was celebrated long before the first Celts arrived in Ireland and the official beginning of Samhain. Archaeological fire of its sister hill, I'm going to try and say it, I'm going to fail, Tlachga, revealed intense burning dating back to the mid-first millennium AD. So, way back when. In Samhain, you have a Samhain dinner, which is boiled potato, cold cannon, which is potato with cabbage or kale mashed up, cabbage and raw onion. Nobody's actually sure about the raw onions, but the potatoes have coins wrapped in paper stuffed in them. Trick or treat. Barmbrack is the sweet treat that you have. It's a fruit bread, and each member of the family gets a slice. Hidden in it are a coin, a ring, and a rag. If you get the slice with the ring, you'll get a romance over the coming year. A coin means favourable finances, and the rag means unfavourable finances over the next year. Every family member also places a perfect ivy leaf into a cup of water, and they're left undisturbed overnight. If, by morning, the leaf is still perfect and shows no spots or rot, it means a person's health is secure for the next 12 months. Do you know what? I might try it. But do you know what will happen? I will wake up and it will be rotted. Because that's me. Now, Samhain means summer's end in Irish. And with summer's end and winter's beginning, the next day, is the new year. You can even really see from Samhain how that says summer's end. I'm sorry, I can hear it. In, end. You know? And sow is, at how you say it, SOW, can be female pig, or sow, as we'd say it now, to plant seeds. So it is the end of the fertile times, which wouldn't surprise me if that is where we get sow, as in sowing seeds, from. It's the end of the sowing times. That is literally how it is said. Just with an accent. To me, it all makes sense. And like I said in the Scottish video, the new day started at dusk, right? Romans were the ones, when they came over, that started this whole nuts idea of the day starting at daybreak. We started the day at dusk. So it makes sense that the new year started at night. The big dusk, i.e. autumn, winter, when it got dark, that is the start of the new year. Perfect sense. It's only modern things that confuse all of this. We've been conditioned by the Roman clock. The Roman clock, in fairness, was a 26-hour day. And frankly, I want those 2 hours back because I could do a lot with those 2 hours. But to me, it makes perfect sense when you think if the day started at dusk, the new year would start when it got dark. So, Samhain was the new year. It was the harvest festival. It was big. And not only that, it is not just in the British Isles type area. I keep saying type area because, as I keep pointing out, the Isle of Man is not technically part of the British Isles. It is, if you have a look at it as a geographic formation. And when I say island, people are going to think the entire island of Ireland. But I specifically had a look at Northern Irish history, even though there's a good chance that Ayr or Southern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland, whatever you want to call it, has very similar traditions. But I didn't want to drag them into it because I wanted to be fairly specific. In fact, when I was reading up on this, I was like, yeah, cool, I'll write it all down, and then got to the end, and my maiden name was Derry. And most English people haven't heard of Derry because they're a bit, they are definitely. And, but Londonderry they've heard of. And get to the end, and then it starts telling me what's happening for Samhain in Derry this year. Yeah, I'd accidentally gone on to the tourist page for Derry. How's that for karma? So when you get the website in the description, it is actually the Derry Tourist Board, and that wasn't on purpose, but it does look like it's going to be absolutely belting over there. Good on you, and happy Ancient New Year. Keep it up, guys. And how come just about everyone in Ireland still calls it Derry? I've never met an Irish person yet who calls it Londonderry. Have I only ever met Catholics? Like, ever? I think the chances of that are slim to none. Just saying. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to have a go at me and jump down my throat. But honestly, I have never met an Irish person who's called it Londonderry. I'm just saying. But yeah, so I looked for Northern Ireland specifically because I didn't want to drag Ayr into it. It's nothing personal, but I was looking for the British Isles. I know that you're going to have some traditions that are similar. But yeah, I didn't even plan on dragging man into it until I found out about man. And I wasn't going to do Cornwall either until I found out about Cornwall. So, yeah. They're my next two. In fact, my next one is Hoptona. So I'll see you in a minute for the Isle of Man. See if Clicky works this time. Bye. Oh, it's not working.